Patricia Edwina Victoria Knatchbull, 2nd Countess Mountbatten of Burma, Dowager Lady Brabourne CBEJPDL is a British peer and the third cousin of Queen Elizabeth II. She is the elder daughter of Louis Mountbatten, 1st Earl Mountbatten of Burma, and his wife, the heiress Edwina Ashley, a patrilineal descendant of the Earls of Shaftesbury, first ennobled in 1661. She is the elder sister of Lady Pamela Hicks, and first cousin to Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Mountbatten succeeded her father when he was assassinated in 1979, as his peerages had been created by the Crown with special remainder to his daughters and their heirs male. This inheritance accorded her the title of Countess and a seat in the House of Lords, where she remained until 1999, when the House of Lords Act 1999 removed most hereditary peers from the House. Marriage and children. On October 26, 1946 she married John Knatchbull, 7th Baron Brabourne, at the time an aide to her father in the Far East. The wedding took place at Romsey Abbey in the presence of members of the royal family. Her bridesmaids were Princess Elizabeth, Princess Margaret, Lady Pamela Mountbatten, the bride's younger sister, and Princess Alexandra, daughter of the Duke and Duchess of Kent. Later they became one of the few married couples each of whom held a peerage in their own right, and whose descendants are slated to inherit titles through both. They had 8 children. Norton Louis Philip Knatchbull, 8th Baron Brabourne, married Penelope Eastwood and have 3 children. The Honourable Michael John Ulloch Knatchbull, married Melissa Clare Owen on June 1, 1985 and had 1 daughter Kelly, who is a goddaughter of Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. They divorced in 1997. Married Susan Penelope Jane Coates on March 6, 1999 and had 1 daughter Savannah. Divorced February 13, 2006, the Honourable Anthony Knatchbull, Lady Joanna Edwina Doreen Knatchbull, married Baron Hubert Pinot du Breuil on November 3, 1984 and had 1 daughter. Divorced in 1995. Married Azriel Zuckerman on November 19, 1995 and had 1 son. Lady Amanda Patricia Victoria Knatchbull, married Charles Vincent Ellingworth on October 31, 1987 and has 3 sons. The Honourable Philip Wyndham Ashley Knatchbull, married Atalanta Cowan, daughter of John Cowan, on March 16, 1991 and had 1 daughter. Married Wendy Amanda Leach on June 29, 2002 and had 2 sons. The Honourable Nicholas Timothy Charles Knatchbull, murdered, aged 14, by an IRA bomb. The Honourable Timothy Nicholas Sean Knatchbull, married Isabella Julia Norman, a great-great-granddaughter of the 4th Earl of Bradford, on July 11, 1998 and had 2 sons and 3 daughters. Activities. Mountbatten was educated in Malta, England, and New York. In 1943, at age 19, she entered the Women's Royal Naval Service as a signal rating and served in combined operations bases in Britain until being commissioned as a 3rd officer in 1945 and serving in the Supreme Allied Headquarters, Southeast Asia. This is where she met Lord Brabourne, who was an aide to her father. In 1973 was appointed Deputy Lieutenant for the County of Kent. She is also a serving magistrate and is involved with numerous service organisations including SOS Children's Villages UK, of which she is patron. The Order of St John, of which she is a dame. And the Countess Mountbatten's own Legion of Frontiersmen of the Commonwealth, of which she is patron. On June 15, 1974, she succeeded her cousin Lady Patricia Ramsay, formerly HRH Princess Patricia of Connaught, as Colonel-in-Chief of Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry, for whom the regiment was named when Princess Patricia's father, the Duke of Connaught, was Governor-General of Canada during the First World War. Despite her succeeding to an earldom in her own right as Countess Mountbatten of Burma on the death of her father in 1979, she preferred that the officers and men of her regiment address her as Lady Patricia. She was succeeded by the Right Honourable Adriana Clarkson on March 17, 2007. On August 28, 2007, the Governor-General of Canada presented her with a Canadian Meritorious Service Cross for her services as Colonel-in-Chief of Princess Patricia's Light Infantry. Brabourne was in the boat which was blown up by the IRA off the shores of Sligo in August 1979, killing her 14-year-old son Nicholas. Her father, her mother-in-law, the Dowager Baroness Brabourne, and 15-year-old Paul Maxwell, a boat boy from County Fermanagh. She, her husband, and their son Timothy were injured but survived the attack. Following this loss, the Countess became patron and later, president of the Compassionate Friends, a self-help charitable organisation of bereaved parents in the UK. In June 2012, at the time of Queen Elizabeth II's first visit to the Republic of Ireland, Mountbatten said the Queen had her full support for meeting Mr McGuinness, a former IRA commander who was allegedly part of the terrorist group at the time of Lord Mountbatten's murder. "I think it's wonderful," she said. "I'm hugely grateful that we have come to a point where we can behave responsibly and positively." In September 2012, Mountbatten unveiled a memorial to the work of the Combined Operations Pilotage Parties at Hayling Island in Hampshire. Daughter's involvement with Prince Charles, as Lady Brabourne during her father's lifetime, her immediate family became closely involved in the consideration of a future consort for her first cousin once removed, Charles, Prince of Wales. In early 1974, Lord Mountbatten began corresponding with the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip about a potential marriage to Lady Brabourne's daughter, Amanda. Charles wrote to Lady Brabourne about his interest in her daughter, to which she replied approvingly, though suggesting that a courtship was premature. Amanda Knatchbull declined the marriage proposal of Charles in 1980, following the assassination of her grandfather. Portrait. In October 2009, TCF Canada Incorporated presented the Countess with a portrait of herself by the noted Canadian artist Christian Cardell Corbett, of which the oil sketch resides in the Canadian Portrait Academy Permanent Collection. Titles and honours. Titles and styles February 14, 1924 August 23, 1946, Miss Patricia Mountbatten, August 23 October 26, 1946, the Honourable Patricia Mountbatten, October 26, 1946 August 27, 1979, the Right Honourable the Lady Brabourne, August 27, 1979 present, the Right Honourable the Countess Mountbatten of Burma. Mountbatten was born the daughter of a younger son of a marquess and thus had no courtesy title. She became the daughter of a peer, and thus obtained the courtesy prefix Honourable. When she married a baron, she obtained her husband's precedence, which happened to be higher than that of a viscount's daughter. When her father was raised to an earldom, however, her precedence remained the same, because the higher courtesy rank of an earl's daughter cannot be claimed by the wife of a man who ranks as a peer in his own right. When her father died and she succeeded him as countess by special remainder, Patricia Mountbatten became a peeress in her own right. Since her peerage was higher than her husband's, she was entitled to enjoy its higher title and precedence. By contrast, her younger sister's rank as an earl's daughter outranked her husband's status as a commoner from August 1946 to August 1979, because when a peer's daughter marries a commoner rather than a peer, she is allowed to retain the rank derived from her parent. Honours Dame of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Meritorious Service Cross, Canadian Forces Decoration. Colonels-in-Chief the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, Countess Mountbatten's own Legion of Frontiersmen of the Commonwealth, Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. Ancestry. Bibliography, Dimbleby, Jonathan. The Prince of Wales, A Biography. New York, William Morrow and Company. References. External links, Hansard 1803 2005, Contributions in Parliament by the Countess Mountbatten of Burma, regiments.org on Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry, mountbattenofburma.com, tribute and memorial website to Louis, 1st Earl Mountbatten of Burma, About Us, Patrons of the Compassionate Friends.